the Super Secret Bonus Levels show Push Play, where we talk about what's going on with Super Secret Bonus Level as well as retro and current video gaming. So, first of all, Tim isn't going to be with us this week, and hopefully he'll be back next week. Okay, first of all, the store's doing very well. We've been open for 2 weeks now, and things are going really good. It's going in the right direction. Think everything's going great, all things considered. Um, we also want to announce that we now have the ability to accept credit card payments locally through PayPal, and this also allows you to pay with PayPal if you have a PayPal account. Also, what this allows us to do is if you know anyone that doesn't live in the Tallahassee area that wants to purchase anything from us, we now have the ability to process remotely and ship. So that's another option for us. All right, so first off, let's start with the news this week. This past week, we had the NES Classic launch, and that was a fiasco. Uh, Everybody sold out. Tim was able to get one, but no one else I know was able to get one. All online stores were sold out. They've continued to be sold out. None of the online vendors have said when they're going to be getting anything in. The only one that said anything is Walmart, which is supposed to have some going up this week. I've already tried to get some actually just before I recorded the show and was unable to do so. Um, there's been some serious shortages. Amazon completely went boom when this happened. Their product page just failed to load for most people. And there are scalpers out there that are hurting the Nintendo fans. They're going and buying them up, and just like with the amiibo craze, they're going and hiking up the prices. They're buying a $60 unit, going online, selling it for hundreds, and I've even seen it in the thousands of dollars. And for all of you that are doing that, shame on you. Even as Walmart posted their things up today, um, there was already one up there for $2.99, and during the rush, someone posted one for $4.99 during that. And again, shame on you for doing that. And Tim and I have discussed this, and we really don't know why Nintendo treats their fans this way. We're going to have a big discussion about that in a future episode. So let's move on to the next thing. This kind of goes along the lines with the NES Classic. Most of you are aware there has been a product out there for the Sega Genesis, which is a plug and play system as well, from a company called At Games. They make a lot of other little plug and play systems for classic platforms. Um, what they're going to do is right now, because of the 25th anniversary of Sonic, they're going to re-release it with a couple of different games on it. They're not that bad of systems. One of the things that sets it aside from the NES Classic and other plug and plays is that it actually has a cartridge slot. So if you actually have Genesis games, you can put them in there and they work. It also has an SD slot on it. Um, it comes with 80 games, and I use that term a little bit loosely. Uh, just like the other Genesis out there, is it's actually 40 Genesis games, and then there are 40 other kind of filler games that they put on with it. Um, Another one of the, I guess, if you want to say cons of the system as opposed to, like, for example, the NES Classic or even some of the other plug and play systems like that, is it doesn't have the nostalgic appearance. It does look like something Sega might have made. It does strongly resemble a Genesis Mark III, um, but it's not. It's just a little black box. It kind of looks like Sega would have made it. One of the downsides that people have said about the previous one and this new version is it also still lacks HDMI. So that's kind of a negative in a lot of people's eyes when it comes to that plug and play system. Um, there is one strong point though, is you can have a console version and they also release it as a portable version. So if you want your portable Genesis on the go, there you go. You can get a portable version. Now, there's a little bit of information about the Switch that just came out this week. Not necessarily from Nintendo, but from Nvidia, which is one of their business partners. Now, Nvidia has some stake in the Switch, obviously. They're making the graphics card. So, they, of course, wanted to succeed. But Nvidia is usually pretty straight with people about their graphical capabilities. So they said that people are going to be very amazed by the Switch, that they're going to be very impressed. Um, and they've even said that they believe that their new partnership with Nintendo is going to last 2 decades. So there must be some really good things going on behind the scenes between Nintendo and Nvidia. They've said it's just the Switch is not going to be like anything you've seen before. And if you kind of seen some of the things that Nvidia has been talking about, if you just kind of read between the lines there, I think the Switch is going to end up being a lot more powerful than people are thinking. We'll find out in March. And the first unveiling of really kind of the Switch's capabilities is supposed to be in January. So we'll see. All right, at this time, I'd like to do our retro recommendation for the week. This is a game that we have in our store, and it's one of the things that we would like to recommend to people if they come by and check it out. We just try to point out something that we think people might like. My pick this week is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 Manhattan Project. Um, Most people are aware that they had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, and then they did the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, which was a port of the arcade game. But Konami made a third game in the series that most people don't know about. The reason for that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 actually came out after the Super Nintendo had already been released. So everyone was being blown away by Super Mario World and Final Fight and Castlevania 4 and those kind of things. So they just so, oh, I have a NES and there are games for it. Yeah, they were still making games for the NES after the Super NES. So this was a really good game. Played in the style of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, um, but it was completely original. The Turtles this time also had special moves that differentiated them from each other, not just their weapons. In Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, and also the follow-up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Turtles in Time Part 4, the only thing that really differentiated them were their weapons. Donatello generally was one of the better turtles to choose from because of his reach. But in this game, every turtle has their own unique move. So it actually makes it a little bit different than the other games in the series. It's a really fun game. A lot of people missed it, so check it out. One last thing I'd like to add is I'd like to give a special shout out to one of our customers. Actually, he's traded in a lot of games and a lot of games that we have in our store. And one of the things I love about this running the store is meeting fellow gamers. And at this time, I'd just like to give a special shout out to Jason McLaughlin for trading in so many games so I can find those good home in our store. He also does his own videos as well. Make sure and check out his channel at youtube.com/gamersanonymous show and on Facebook at www.facebook.com/gamersanonymous. All right, I think that wraps up this show. So make sure and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And come and check out our booth at the flea market in Tallahassee and get some retro games. See you next time.